Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and welcome back to Aurora 4X, and today we're doing Warship time! Oh yeah. Right, so, if we wait 5 days... Research into fuel complete. That was just on the horizon, so I decided it was worth waiting for. Yep. Oh, you're next year. Research into commenced. Okay, so we did finish one, but it's not showing here. Oh no, yeah, sorry. We completed research into jump drive efficiency and complete research into ceramic composite armor. There we go. Those are the ones I really wanted. I don't really have this one, unfortunately, which is a shame. I mean, if we dumped all the research labs into it, how fast would it be done? April next year. Oof. I guess we could wait that long. I mean, the thing is, right now we're actually short on uranium, so we can't build the things we want to build anyway. We can't build any more warships. We'll wait. And we'll get someone building our jump gates, although that is construction production, and we have a 65. Yeah, so we'll start someone building a way to build jump gates, which will actually be next year as well. Okay, let's wait until we have the technology. We can rebuild them better, faster, stronger. We are having mineral shortages of uranium now. I did learn that each maintenance facility has a capacity of 200 tons or something. So ideally we want about 20,000 tons capacity in orbit. So we want 100, which means that unfortunately I had to queue up another load of maintenance facilities, which is costing us uranium. We're almost done though. We're almost done. And I think we can probably tell the Riv to finally go and do its job of turning back the clock. Earth. Begin overhaul. Still shortage of supplies, unsurprisingly. I don't think there's anything important there. People just changing over. No longer cause from rest. Still shortage of minerals. God damn that shortage of minerals. Civilians have been setting up quite a few mining facilities, by the way. Now, if these civilians were, you know, mining something interesting, I might be interested. So let's look. Trade goods, etc. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's this tab I actually want to be in. Here we go. Civ mines. So let's have a quick look. Are you mining Durantium? Yes. I'm straight up on buying your supply. How do I do that? Right. I think I have to go something like... Civ. And then purchase mineral output. Right. Mineral output from these complexes can be purchased for 250 wealth each year per complex. There are 2 complexes on the planet with a total purchase price of 500. The complexes that send their output to the civilian sector will yield you some taxes. So I'm going to purchase because you have uranium. I need that uranium. What else? I mean, accessibility of 1-on-1. It's just I didn't go here because I was low tritanium. It would just be uranium. But hell, if you're doing it. You're doing uranium as well. Frida. And Pasafi. And Wild. I don't care about this one. But these ones I am buying the output of. It's going to be expensive. But I mean, we're getting enough wealth in that I can. There we go. Right, and let's skip forwards 30 days. And still minimum shortage, Durantium. Duranium, not Durantium, there's no T. It's like Duranium, which is a pop group, well, a rock group from like the 80s that no one outside of Britain will have heard of, I bet. They did the song, which was the Bond song for View to a Kill. I mean, no one likes to remember View to a Kill apart from that song. That song was good, but View to a Kill was terrible. Right, I believe we have our research done. Yes, we do. We're still doing jump kicks in direction, that's fine. Just mainline that, you'll have it done. 3 days' time. Very well. So we can start building our warship. Now, of course, we want to actually consider stuff about our warship first. So let us start with active sensors, missile fire control. So, our active sensors and our missile fire control. Let us just pull up for reference create a ship thing, because I want to remember who is in charge of each component. I'm putting it on a different screen so that I can quickly just flip over to the Sir Roderick and then remember. So we've got Chaos Corps in charge of missile fire controls and search sensors, J-Cron's in charge of launchers, and Doug's in charge of magazines. Right. Let's do this. Okay, so active sensors. We would like sensor strength. We've got 21 now researched. We've got 8 EM. Electric hardening will have 1. Minimum resolution. We'll talk about resolution in a second. Sensor size. Search sensor, missile fire control. So, firstly, we probably want a search sensor. Straight up, we probably want one of those. Let's display the size in tons. 50 tons. Right. Minimum resolution. We want to be looking for ships that could threaten us. Now, this includes smaller ships. So I probably want to go all the way down to a... I mean, it's only the square root resolution, so it's not too bad. I'm going to say 1,000 tons. So we've got a 7 million kilometer range. Since our missiles can probably get up a fair deal more than that, how big a sensor do I have to build? Okay, so if we have our missiles having a range of about, 300,000 kilometers, million kilometers, we would need a 2.5 kiloton. Ooh, maybe we change the resolution a little bit. We could change that down. I don't fancy packing something that ridiculous. We're aiming for about 300,000, maybe a bit less in terms of range. A bit more. Okay. Against the range, against that is substantially. That's the issue with this, because of the square root function. I might have to accept something like that, which I really don't want to. And 56 people just to man these sensors. Okay. 200,000 is not that much. I was hoping for a little bit more range this time around with our missiles. What if we bit the bullet and went to 300,000 kilometers against a 1 kiloton object? I mean, most enemies aren't going to be 1 kiloton, so we could probably scale back a little bit, I guess. Let's scale back to make it 1.5 kilotons. Still a heavy sensor, but it's going to have to do. You are the Chaos Core. Active search sensor at 225. You're designed for a resolution of 20, which is, of course, 1,000 tons. Fine. Eek. Eek, eek, eek. And 70%, I think that's... There's a 30% chance to neglect it, so there's only a 70% chance they'll be affected by microwave weapons and stuff. Does that affect the size? No, it just affects the number of crew. No, just the cost. Oh, that's fine. It's meant to be expensive, and I now need to enter Chaos Core again. Right. So Chaos Core. So if the enemy are trying to defeat our sensors by firing microwaves and stuff at us, which shouldn't happen, they need to get close for that. We should have a chance to avoid it. Not a great chance, but we'll create that. Then we need to set up some missile fire controls. Right, so missile fire control. All of that's fine. Against an enemy of size... Well, we are going to have our anti-missile one. So, anti-missile 1. Hull size 1 against a missile 6 or smaller. We can go smaller on this. Let us go to 10. We could probably go smaller still. Right, I want 1 million kilometers here, so I'm going to aim for 1 million kilometers. There we go. So that's hull size of 2, which is 100 tons. At a range of 1 million kilometers, it will see a small missile. At a range of 1 million kilometers. So that does give us time to fire. Not a lot, depending on the speed of the missile, but it should be pretty good. So even if they have missiles that go 30 kilometers a second, which is what our fast missiles do, that means that we'll have 30 seconds to see their missiles. That sounds a bit much. 30 seconds to see their missiles? I guess it's only 6 turns, but... Fine. Yeah, sure. Million kilometers. I mean, we should be able to see 50-ton objects at a range of 10 million kilometers. Yeah, okay. I might increase the size just a little bit. Minimum resolution. No, the minimum resolution is fine. I want to increase it to about 4. That will be able to see them at about just over 2 million kilometers. Yeah, okay. We're going to make this the Chaos Core. Missile fire control. And I'm going to have a... against missile size 6. What was the parameters I can't remember what the format I used was. Let me check. Looking on my list of missile fire controls. Right, it was a size 6 / yeah. So that'd be size 6 /... And our previous ones had 8 million kilometers. We don't want quite that much. 2 million kilometers. Especially since it's not, you know, based on a planet. We'll create this. And then we need our actual main firing one. So our main firing one is going to be targeted at a resolution of... And you always should pick, because of the square root functionality, you should pick, say, a slightly lower one. So we'll pick 1,000 tons. And I want to get that number up quite a bit. So let's try getting that up. Yeah, that's not bad, but I don't think we need quite that high. To bring it down to about, try 12. I was aiming for 300,000, but that could be fine. And that's only 600 tons. So we're just over a 250,000 kilometers there. Just under a 250,000 kilometers. Sure. So this will be the Chaos Core. Missile control system. Sweet. Create that as well. Now, we've done missiles and stuff. Beam, don't need. Close-in weapon system, don't need. Cloaking device. I haven't looked it up, unfortunately. EM detection sensors. Total sensor size, sensor hardening. Right. This will give us a sensor size sensitivity of 8. If we increase this, you can see that we basically go up in a pretty linear fashion. So if we go to like 10, it's 80. I think we can, using sensors here, we can have a look. So, like, show passive sensor range. Right. What range would you need to be to detect Earth? I think that dot is Earth itself. Oh, we've got it on 0. So to detect a signature of strength... Right. So, if we had a show passive sensor range, like you can detect Earth if you've got a signature strength of 10,000. So if we're using show signature detection range, sensor strength 50, you can see we're now seeing certain things at certain ranges. So, bam, Mars, all these different vessels. And this is how you can see them. So if we have... I closed... There we go, right. If we've got a sensor size of 10, which gives us a EM sensitivity of 80. Can I enter a number here? No, I can't. Just try and get it as close to 8 as possible. 80, there we go, bam. We could detect, say, the Potemkin at a range of 32 million kilometers, which isn't, you know, our fire control, but our fire control isn't designed to be used on passive sensors. Now, we could make it used on passive sensors, but you don't have your, you know, your active sensors all the time, which is why you have passive sensors in case like someone's sneaking up on you. And especially if they're running active sensors, because then you can hear them on passive. What else have we got? Mars. You can see Mars at a range of 100 million kilometers. So we will probably want to get ourselves some active sensors. I don't know how much. 500 tons is probably fine. In fact, it's probably overkill to an extent. Beam weapons can be used up ranges of roughly up to 400 kilometers. I think that's like tech level 4 or something for them. I don't think we need to go maybe that high. So if we went with a EM sensitivity of 40, right, what we're currently seeing, it's a linear relationship, so... God damn it, Potemkin. 30 million kilometers. Beam's going to be used at a range of, say, 400,000 or whatever, I think it is. So we'd be seeing them way, way ahead. I mean, that's if they were Potemkin class. I mean, if we look at something like our freighters, it's a little bit smaller. But I think we'd be okay with a pretty small one. We don't need a crazy large one, especially since these are warships designed for active usage. So that should give us an EM sensitivity of 32. So bring the slider down, get it near to 32. That'll do. And let us zoom in on... Let's zoom in on Earth. This is probably like the Riv or something. 10 million kilometers. Fine. That's fine. I don't need anything particularly large. That's 200 tons. Sensors are done by Chaos Core. Engines. Right. So we have magnetoplasma drive technology. We use that for a little while now. Fuel consumption. This is going to be important. We do want our ships to go fast enough because they need to be able to catch the enemy. But we also don't want them to just drain fuel all the time. They probably will. That's the downside. Like if we go to like an extra third power, we use double the fuel. If we go to an extra 50% power, we use 2.8 times the fuel. That's the issue. They will drain fuel so incredibly fast. Thermal signature reduction. Just increases the cost. Which is fine. I do want that though. I don't want to be detected too quickly if I'm running sensors off. Fuel consumption as to make them bigger. So if we go for a gigantic ass engine, this engine will be 2.5 kilotons. Power of 800. Sure. Now, how much can we risk doing this? So if we go to roughly double the fuel use, we get to an 1000 EP engine, 1000 N80. Ooh. Fuel use per hour. I mean, remember when we had fuel use per hour? It was like, oh, yeah, the fuel use per hour is like, you know, 0.7 or 2.2. 571. This is why military ships normally have tankers to go with them, and we may need to do that in future. We may need to be like, yeah, screw it, we have to have tankers. Yes. I think we don't have a choice on this one. Oh dear. I think we need to design maybe two engines. An engine for our in-system ones that can get refueled all the time, and an engine for the one that has to be a little bit more efficient, but it's probably going to end up with more engines because of that. Let's, for now, compromise as a little bit lower. Maybe a little bit lower than that, even. 880 EP. Yeah, this is when we start to drain all that fuel that we've been saving up. And our engines are made by... What engine's made by? Oh, damn, I'm looking at Sir Roderick at the moment on my other screen. The Shane Kills Corporation. Of course it is. How could I forget? Shane Kills. 880 EP magnetoplasma drive. We're going to need to make sure we have enough speed to be able to catch enemies. In fact, I'm gonna increase the power a little bit, because I'm afraid that if we don't have enough power and they're just speeding around, it's going to be difficult. Shane Kills. That said, we've got crazy range, so provided they don't detect us and we can just find them and then unleash hell, we should be okay. Provided we, don't unleash hell too early. Yeah, the Shane Kills 960 EP. Ooh, that's going to be tough. Right. Gauss cannon, jump drives. Jump drives. We should probably have a different corporation making jump drives. I haven't got the Excel spreadsheet up because I'm an idiot. So jump drives, you have an efficiency, you have a... Oh, hi, Corsair Utility Engine. Yep, thank you. I know I've got the keyboard on a different computer right now. Thank you for showing people that. File. Open. Vinco Backless. So the Backless Corporation makes our jump drives. Or maybe Backless Tech. Or Backless Engineering. Backless Engineering. Right. So we, of course, want the best efficiency possible. Squadron jump size. Yeah, I do want them to... It makes the size increase by 10% to take an extra ship. However, these jump drives have to be able to occasionally take along other military ships with them. The jump radius, we can increase. That increases the accuracy, I believe. Or allows you to jump within a certain radius of the point. Yeah, sure. Right. Size. Now, this is an important one. There is a maximum size which you can take with you with a jump drive. This is a military jump drive. We need to get that up, and we need to decide what the total capacity of our military ships will be. So, what is our current situation with some of our shipyards? Let's find out. Shipyards. 20,000 at the Wormtail dock. The Johnson dry dock is 21,000. So I think what we do is we aim for 20,000. That's probably quite reasonable. So we'll decrease this to 50. 20,000 tons. Now note that the jump drive itself is going to take up almost 3,000 tons. Oh, that's expensive. We're talking like, 15% of the entire ship is going to be jump drive. But only one ship needed. It can still take along with it 3 other warships. So fine. We'll do it. Right. So this is the... What do we call it? The Vinco B. Engineering. The Vinco B Engineering military jump drive. Oh dear. So it can take 4 people within a range of 100 kilometers. And it can take up to 20,000 tons military jump drive. We're going to create that. Oh, dears. Right. What's next? Lasers don't need magazines. We've got much more efficient magazines now. This is the Doug Industries, I believe. Ceramic composite armor. Magazine size. Large. Hits to kill. 6. This is for a warship. Right, that reduces the capacity to just under 500. Explosion chance, 10. Magazine hits to kill, 6. Would it be better if I made, like, multiple small magazines, though? Probably not quite as efficient in tonnage. Let's have a look. That's 500 tons. That's 1,500 tons. I think that could be fine. So let's make a standard-sized magazine that we're going to use everywhere. So, fully armored, 10 hits to kill. I don't want the magazine exploding. I'm pretty sure that would be bad for us. And let's make it some sort of nice size in terms of capacity. 254 we could do, or we could decrease the size. I think we should make it a little bit bigger. There we go, 302. So basically, it's a 302 capacity magazine with an explosion chance of 10% and takes 10 hits to kill. So there is still a chance it'll explode, but it'll take 10 hits until it's definitely going to explode. That seems good to me. You are made by Doug Engineering. Industrials, sorry. Doug Industrials. Capacity, create. Right, mise en cannon, no. Missile engine. We're going to come to missile engine later on, when we start designing our missiles. This is going to be a long, probably a 2-part episode at this rate. Missile launchers. We're going to have to talk about them after we build our missiles. We could design them now and be like, well, we're probably going to go for missiles of this size. But I don't know. I mean, for a start, if we have a missile launcher size 1, reduce size, 20 times the reload. Rate of fire, 150 seconds. Oh, right, so you can make them smaller to take up less space, but they take longer to reload. So you can have, like, right, I would like really tiny, 16-ton launchers, but they will fire once, and then they're not going to be used for 2.5 minutes. Or I can fire every 10 seconds, but they're going to be 50 tons. So you can be like, right, I'm going to, bam, swarm. I have to kill mouth strike. Or you can be like, I'm just going to fire normally. I don't think I'm going to do anything particularly fancy like that. I I don't feel that we need to do that. I feel that we could, every 10 seconds, launching a missile sounds good to me. That's a lot of missiles to put in the air. So we want the reload rate to be 4. Ship-based, yes. Missile size, 1, because we know we'll be having that. It's our anti-missile missile. And who are our missiles made by? They are made by the Jcron Tech. So Jcron technology. Jcron Tech. Because we know we'll be using size 1 missiles. Straight up. We know we're going to be using size 1 missiles. We're also probably going to have size 6 missiles. So we'll make you the same stats. Fires every 45 seconds. That's a little bit slower. Now, you could be like, well, is it really worth it? We could just go and have, like, you know, a lot of them. But all that does is mean we have 3 of them. And we're never going to be reloading. That's just 15 minutes reload time. This is, you know, 45 seconds, but it's 45 seconds that we could do. Yeah, I think... And the reason that I'm probably not go larger than, you know, the 6... I might go to a 9, but I wouldn't go any larger than that. It's because of the fire rate. So I'm going to go for 6. We're just going to spam missiles at them. And this is going to be the Jcron Technologies size 6 missile launcher. Create that. We can always come back and create a big one if we need to. Right, after this we've got new species, particle beam, plasma carronade, power plant, we don't need that. Shields, absorption, shield standard. Absorption without absorption, shield strength technology. Okay, so I don't have that yet. Don't know what that does. Shields. We need another person to do shields. The Marcelo Cabido, so the Cabido core. Just sounds good, Cabido core. Gamma shields, yes, best one. Recharge rate, best one. Fuel consumption. 1 liter per engine fuel hour. That's just an improvement, straight up. There isn't actually anything to be made here. These are just, that's better, and that's better. So, shield strength of 2. For recharge rate of 1.5, which means that it will take approximately, what, like 10 minutes? No, sorry, 8 minutes to reload? Yeah, something like, you know, 6.6 minutes to reload. 6.666, so 7 minutes to reload. Daily cost while active. I won't have the shields active all the time. I will just activate them for combat. Yes. I would like some Marcelo Cabido, so that'll be the Cabido Corp. Gamma, recharge, 400. There's no way I can affect recharge time, is there? No. Just wondering. Recharge rate is just faster. Different types of shields. Now, you can make shields that do recharge faster. But I'd prefer to have the armor up front. So yeah, you are the Cabido Corp Gamma shields. Okay, let's create those. I'm still not particularly well versed in shields, but I'm interested to see what they do. After shields, I believe we've only got one thing left. Thermal sensors. Yes, and yes. And we did decide on exactly how big we want the thermal sensors to be, didn't we? Let's quick look back at what we decided. I would need to open up the research screen. Sensors. Fire control. EM detection. 4. I believe that is a 4 there. 432. Which means they've got a 32 rating. Okay, so 4 points gives a rating of 32. Yeah. And our sensors are made by Chaos Core. Seriously, very useful Chaos Core. Chaos Core thermal sensors. Sweet. Let's create that. And I believe all we've got left to do is missile and missile engine. Okay, so we can do the missile engine, and then we're probably going to have to wrap up this episode after designing the missiles entirely. Don't worry, we'll design the missiles entirely. So let's open our favorite Excel spreadsheet. Yes, we are playing Excel. How about you start off? And we have some things to do. So we know what the engine power is. It's still the Magneto, so it's 0.8. Agility and stuff, we'll have to look at our technology. Damage, we have improved on this. And fuel consumption, I believe we may have improved on this as well. No, actually, I'm not sure. So I'm going to put that on a different screen and let us look up our missiles. So, keeping the research project around over here, we are going to go to here and enter the missile screen. Right. So I've got some already created chipmunks. We're not going to use those. We are going to have a warhead strength, so we know we've got a value of 5. And a fuel capacity... do we know what our fuel consumption is? Is it 0.5? It might be 0.5. Let's have a quick check under engines. Missile engine. No, it is... No, it's 0.5. Fuel consumption, 0.5. Sweet. Okay. So fuel consumption, 0.5. Engine power. How high can we get that? We can get up to 4 times now. Okay, so let us bring down our Excel spreadsheet. Start putting in some numbers. So we've got damage. We've got a new damage technology. Agility, we'll have to check that. Fuel consumption, you're 0.5 now. And you're 400. Sweet. Right. Now, let us have a look at our agility. What agility tech do we have? So if I set this to 1, you see it's 64. There we go. So that modifier is 64. Ooh, now look at this. We're seeing we can have missiles that have a 50 million kilometer range and a 100% chance to hit a target moving at 5,000 kilometers a second. That's a fast target. These are some good missiles. So, how much damage do we want? How much missile size point do we want? Well, for a start, we're using 6 missile size. We know that. We can have missiles this large, but they are pretty damn slow and short-ranged. We don't want quite that much damage. What we want to do is, because we're looking at a square number, we probably want to have a look at 16. So let's change that to 16. This is looking acceptable. Range is a little bit on the short side. So what if we change this down to use another square number, 9? Okay, so it's starting to say here, look, you can hit anything with your 9 damage missiles. Well, I'll be doing that, but that's not bad. How fast they're moving? Oh, you only have to worry about they're going faster than about 7,000 kilometers a second. But you still don't have the range, which is annoying. I would like to have the range a little higher. This spreadsheet is basically optimized for the chance to hit, not the range. I want the range to be maybe, preferably double that. Now, the way you can do that is you can just slightly tweak the fuel. So we're going to build the engine based around this. We're not going to build the exact engine this says. I would like a desired damage of 16, however. Just because that amount of damage is really, really good. And it can't be overstated. The ability to dig through that armor would be great. So we're going to go for a damage of 16. So maybe pushing it a little bit. If we went for like a size 9 missile, and we pushed ourselves up to 25. Yeah, no, that'd be a bit too much. Size 9 missile and damage 16. Yeah, you're looking okay there. But if we go back down to our size 6, I think we'd be in trouble. I'd rather have a size 9 missile that hits every time than a size 16 that doesn't. And especially considering, look at the speeds we're looking at right now. We're talking like, 50,000 kilometers a second. That's nothing. We're talking something that will travel to our max distance quite easily in a few seconds. So, do we go 9 or do we go 16? That would require just over half the missile to be warhead. I think that's not really acceptable for that size missile at the moment. We'll go for a desired damage 9, and we'll just have a missile that hits every time. And then we can decrease this to hit chance for a bit of range. So we're going to have a missile with engine, MSP. Let's pick something about 2.5. So we could pick this exactly and get these stats, but I want about 2.5. Because I would like to make a bit of the space, I want to put fuel in there instead. So we're going to have about 2.5. So I would like missile engine power, fuel consumption, 2.5 missile size points. Two point 5. There we go. And the engines for our missiles are still made by Shane Kills. So Shane Kills. 2 EP. Magnetoplasma drive. Sweet. Create. Now, one additional thing we want to do, and we need to remember, by the way, before we do that, that we are looking at an agility of about 1.3. The rest being fuel. So I'm just going to remember about 1.3 for the agility. But we do want to talk about our anti-missile missiles. So let's just plug in, we want damage of 1, we want a total MSP of 1. And we can see that we have ranges of, just 100 million kilometers we can shoot down missiles. We don't have that range on our sensors. That's a little bit long. I don't want anything quite that ridiculous. I'd much rather trade this for higher hit chances. So it's like, what do you want the engine MSP to be? Engine, MSP. The problem is if I go for an engine MSP of 0.5, it's keeping fuel and agility at some sort of ratio, I think. And what we'd want to do is we want to decrease the amount of fuel. Okay, well, let's make 2 different engines, right? We can just research 2 engines. They're pretty easy to do. They're small engines. And we'll pick whichever one's best. So obviously they're suggesting here that we have the best to hit. So we want an engine of about 0.32. I think our engine should be bigger to give us a higher chance to hit and burn the fuel quicker. And that we could go with like a 0.5 MSP engine. Because at the end of the day, like, why not? So let's go for a 0.32 and a 0.5 and research both of them. So 0.5 and a 0.32. 5.5 MSP engine. Oh, I didn't change the engine power. Well, that's silly of me. Well, we'll have to come back to that, right? You're the Shane kills 1.5. Why was it on? No, it wasn't on top of the game because it doesn't do that automatic for missiles, but we want it to be on max. Oh well. Shane kills 1.5 EP. Create. And then we go down to point. They wanted, how big an engine did they want? You can't go down lower than 0.5, can you? Oh, that's fuel consumption. Sorry, wrong one. They wanted 0.32. Engine MSP, 0.32 gives us the best chance to hit. Yes, so that'll be the Shane kills. 1 EP. Create. Then we need to replace that one that we built earlier. God damn it. Right. What are we wanting? We wanted an MSP of 6, sorry. Give them the last chance to see it. Desired damage of 9. And they were suggesting, right, so we wanted like, what was it, 1.3? 1.5? It was 1.5, I believe. Because we were going somewhere in there. So, missile size, 1.5 MSP. The Shane kills. Create. Bam! Right, so I'm going to leave that open just in case. And let's pop into our techs. And if we look in missiles, if we look in propulsion, that's construction production. Ground propulsion. We should see a Shane kills 2 EP that we want to get rid of. Yeah, we don't need you, mate. Delete. These are the ones that we want. So let's find our specialist. Ground propulsion. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna remove all your research labs. Well, not all of them, till I've got 30. We're gonna create. Then we're gonna add the next Shane kills behind it. And the next Shane kills. And then we want the Shane kills magnetoplasma drive for the ship, but we're just talking about missiles today. So we'll do that. How long will this take you? You will be able to research this today? Oh yeah, don't worry, we can knock a mock-up up today. It's fine. 5 days should probably get you most of it then. Let's do 5 days. I believe you just did it all. Yes, you did. Right, so we can actually start talking about our missiles. So let's pull up the missile. Design. Right. And can I put like the Excel over that side of the screen? Don't do that, Windows. Thank you. Oh, I get rid of it anyway. Okay, I will have to read the numbers off from my second screen. Right. So, don't want previous design. We were looking at... Let's do our anti-missile missile, because that's probably one of the easiest ones to do, straight up. So, I'm just going to set the MSP to 1, desired damage to 1. And we're using a... They wanted me to use a 0.35. We're going to try and use a 0.5 size. Total size. How big is this engine? Total engine power. Does it say how big the engine is? Why? Let's just reduce this to 0 over here. That's not 0. 1.6 MSP. Because of the agility. Ah. This is 0.2 MSP engine. Okay. So this is our bigger engine. Oh, it says there, 0.46. Total engine power, total cost, etc. Right. So we're going to try and use a 0.26. I thought I made a 0.5 engine. Did I forget about that, like, at some point? We did create it, right? I'm starting to believe maybe we didn't create it. Let me just double check my tech. I can't really double check tech because it doesn't tell me. Ah. Right, half a missile size. Give me half a missile size. Just half. 1.6 EP. Magnetoplasma drive. So we should have a 1.6 EP magnetoplasma drive available in here. 1.6 EP. We don't. Why? Because I didn't create it. Must have screwed up somewhere. Me screw up? Never. Shane kills. Create it. It's got the 4 times, blah blah blah. Yes, that's correct. And the annoying thing is I'm going to have to go into research and fiddle about. This is why I don't like the fiddling about thing. It's just annoying. You know what? I'm just going to Space Master myself the tech. For simplicity. Space Master on. I would like to go to power and propulsion. Because otherwise I'd have to cancel that and re-enable it. And I would like to refresh all. You don't realize I've got Space Master available, do you? High research. There we go. I would like power and propulsion. Give this tech to the current race immediately. Bam. Done. Right. Now, let's have a quick look at our missiles. Boop, 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 boop. I would like to refresh. You can't refresh. Let's do a 5-second time increment. Not class design. I would like missiles. Right. You haven't refreshed? Right. Well, close. Missiles. There we go. Right, so let's read off the anti-missile stats. Warhead strength of only 0.2 because we only need 1 point of damage. Fuel capacity. Really don't need that fuel capacity. The fuel capacity should be... range. Don't need anywhere near that much. Let's try 0.02. 0.01. And let's just increase the agility. So, make you 0.8. No, it'd be more like 0.48. There we go, we're getting closer. See the hull size is coming down. The range is still, millions of kilometers. What size were the sensors we were looking at? Tech. Sensors. And fire control. Fire control. 2 million kilometers. Right, so we're looking at 2 million kilometers. Let's bring back up our missile. Should probably write this down somewhere. I have like Notepad open. Right. So we can probably halve that amount of fuel. Can we go lower on fuel? 2 million kilometers. Bam. There we go. So, range 2 million kilometers. How much hull size are we taking up? We can decrease this to... There we go. So, it has against a 10 kilometers per second target, it has a chance of getting a 92.8% hit ratio, which I think is pretty good. So we should still see it intercepting missiles at about maybe a 30% chance, which is pretty good. Yeah, right, I'm happy with this. I'm just going to double check everything is fine here. Yes. Okay, let's make that. Let's create it. And you are the... Oh, who makes my missiles? Chipmunk. And we need to rename it entirely because that designation is terrible. So it's a Chipmunk, size 6, anti-missile, and then we need some of its stats. So we need like its range, etc., and its percentages. So how did I write this down? We need a warhead value. So warhead 1, range 2 million kilometers, with a size of... Not size, sorry, a... What's that? Something 00K. S0 something K. Speed, there we go. 32K. Right, and that should be our anti-missile missiles. Reasonable chance of interception. I mean, even if you get like an enemy ship just comes close enough, we'll just pummel them with them. Right, Chipmunk, size... Pardon me, 1. Anti-missile missile warhead 1, range 2 million kilometers, with a size of 32, speed of 32,000 kilometers per second. Create. Now for the fun part. And I've created so many magnetoplasma drives, I'll need to get some of these texts at some point. We want the most powerful one. Total size, 3.35. Right, let me just open up the Excel, dump in some of the stats I wanted. And it was suggesting a size of about... engine size of about 2 point something. So why have we got a 3 point something there? Are you the wrong one? .5 size? 0.5 size? 0.32? I wish I knew these engine stats off the top of my head. I don't know anywhere I can really go to look at them in detail. Maybe if I go to look at racial text. Let's go look at missiles. Okay. It was engines. Engines. There we go. Oh, it's not missile engines. It's under missile engines, maybe? Missile engines, there we go. It doesn't tell me the stats that go into making them. That's the annoying part. I was like, I really want to see the stats that go into making them. I suspect it's the... this one here. But it could be this one quite equally. At the end of the day, does it matter? Probably going to go with the 3.35. It's marginally more powerful. It's just, yeah, because we've got better fuel efficiency now. God damn it. You know what? I can just create another tech. I would like missile engine, magnetoplasma drive, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And how much of the missile did I want you to take up? If I pull up the quick chart. Missile MSP. It's suggesting about 2.5. Did I not create one with 2.5 size? I could have sworn I did. Did I just not research it by mistake? Oh, no. That makes sense to me. 2.5. Yeah, ATP. Why? Shane kills. Double check that. I have got the missile thing open right now. ATP. But the size is much larger. So did I just not research these missiles and I just researched a load of other engines? I don't know. I'm just going crazy. Sure. I want an ATP, magneto plasma drive, crazy good fuel, etc. Sure. 2.5 MSP. Double checking everything. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Nothing less. Create it. Then I'm just going to instantly research it because I'm a dirty, filthy cheat. Special missiles. The going back and forwards thing is really annoying. Propulsion. Every time I go to production. Chain kills. Instant. Yes. Right. In which case, I would like to fiddle around making some missiles. Which means I need to close that and reopen it. There we go, missiles. There we go. Chain kills, 8 EP. Size, 2.5. Great. I would like a warhead MSP of 9. Should get me... Oh, God. No. That's the wrong way around. 1.8 gives me 9. That would be kind of powerful. Right. This will give me a stat without an agility. I want to then look at their stats and I want to change them. Because I don't quite like some of their stats. So they're suggesting that I want a missile with a range of about 75 kilometers. A million kilometers. No. I want about 200. So I'd probably want to decrease the agility a little bit. And increase the fuel capacity. So let's have a look. What they're suggesting for agility? They're suggesting about 1.3-ish. So if we go for 1.2 and then make the rest out of fuel. Oh, that's bang on. We've got a range. Ooh, it's not quite where I wanted. And increase that. 50% chance to hit a target moving at 10 kilometers a second. That's pretty good. Look at that. 100% chance to hit a target moving at 5 kilometers a second. The range still isn't quite there, so I'm going to decrease the agility. And let's double check our tech. For our fire control. Missile fire control. A resolution of 20, it can see at 270. Right, so we can go quite far out now. Missile. So let's try changing that down as low as 0.6. And we've got 1.1 fuel. We've only got a 42% chance of hitting at 10 kilometers a second. We've got an 85.4% chance of hitting at 5 kilometers a second. That's fine by me. And that range, over a quarter of a billion kilometers. Yes. I think this missile's good. I think we're good. I'm happy to create this missile. So let's do that. You are the... not Shane Kills, that's the engine. You are the Chipmunk. Size 6. Anti-ship missile. Warhead 1. With a range of 257. And I believe there was a speed as well. And rounding that speed is 27k. Sweet. I really do like the look of this missile. Just, oh, that's such sexy stats right there. Like, look at that. I mean, an enemy warship going the same sort of speed we will be hitting them every time. Bam, 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 bam. It doesn't matter. They're going to be hit. And our range is so good. Right. I'm really happy with this missile. I've not screwed up anywhere, and I've somehow made a missile that's just... No? Okay. Cool. Create it. Chipmunk. And there we have our first load of missiles and our first load of tech. I'm gonna have to end the episode here. We've been going on quite a while just talking about tech for this episode. I don't know. I found that enjoyable. I don't know if you did. And I know that I screwed up a few times with the missiles engines. But hey-oh. Oh, I should probably turn off the Space Master mode before I forget and accidentally hit a button that destroys my game. I cannot be trusted. Space Master off. But if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Now, we'll be working on our first warship. Now, of course, we'll have two. We'll have a version that can jump. Probably a little bit less weapons and so on. Maybe more efficient engines, we'll have to check. And then we'll have a version that's just going to be packed to the brim with badassness. It will not be as efficient. It'll be the same speed because I want them moving together. But it won't be as efficient as our jump ship in terms of fuel. And it won't have any sensors for, just looking around the neighborhood. But it should be good. Have an EnterElysium and stay shiny.